What's up, everybody? John Della Rose here, the leading Hispanic voice in science fiction, coming at you with another comic review. This time we've got more Power Rangers. I've been going through the Deluxe Power Rangers from Boom. These are oversized deluxe editions that are very nicely done. And they did a volume, or they didn't call them volume 1, they called them year 1 and then year 2. And then this one is not year 3, but it's Shattered Grid. Now, Shattered Grid is a continuation of what was going on from Volume 2, so I would definitely recommend reading those two first. It also crosses over. I guess there's two different Power Rangers titles going on from Boom, one of which is Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, which is this, and then there's, well, it's not this, it's the year 1 and 2. But there's also Go-Go Power Rangers, and I guess the difference between the two is that Mighty Morphin takes place with the Green Ranger, and Go-Go Power Rangers takes place the year before the Green Ranger. In whatever Power Rangers continuity it is. I was never a huge Power Rangers fan, so I mean, I've watched like the first maybe season as a kid. I wasn't big into it, but these comic volumes have been so good. It's really made me find a new appreciation for this property. So it's good stuff. Now this is a crossover event, and it covers a little more than just those books. There's a couple of different specials in here. We've got Mighty Morphin Power Rangers 24 through 30. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Free Comic Book Day Special. They always do these little specials. 2018 Annual number 1. And Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Shattered Grid number 1. And Go-Go Power Rangers number 9 through 12. Now this one, it's a full big crossover event between these books. And how do you cross over with books that are, the same characters, but different writers and different things? And they actually did a good job from that perspective. It's a little interesting. Basically, Tommy, the Green Ranger, is a bad guy in a different dimension, and he calls himself like Lord Dacon or something like that. Dracon, sorry. And he has conquered all of Earth and all of reality, and now he realizes there's all these Power Rangers from different dimensions, and he is going out to steal different dimensions Morphin technology so that he can gain their power and then like get into the Morphin grid, which is going to give him immortality or something like that and take over the universe. And that's the thought. And so you get a little one-page reminder of what's going on in the storyline. He was captured before and escapes, and this is part of the prelude. They kind of go over that again. Rita kind of gets the lay down of what's going on, and in the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers book, her little mook here, the creator guy, I don't remember their names because like I said, I'm not a big Power Ranger guy. He's created a bunch of monsters and set them loose on the whole world, and Rita is like, hey, activate all of them, make them all grow, and he tries to tell her, it's a bad idea, but she won't listen because she's Rita. Look at the pointy boobies are pretty funny. Super pointy boobies. But if you saw the show back in the day, they had this absurd costume on her, and they just make it more absurd here. I really like the art in this issue. The art changes over the course of this. There's two different like storylines going on. So the art is not consistent throughout. You get into Go-Go Power Rangers here, and you see the different art style, which doesn't mesh well with the other one, is my big complaint, I guess. And this is where we get into the storyline. This is like alternate universe, other Power Rangers. And I guess I talked to a Power Rangers fan after reading this, and he says that like there's all these Power Rangers series, and they like are across time and space, and they all blend together, but they just show different Rangers in different situations doing different things. And so there's a lot of fan service elements of this, which are just like hitting on all those shows. And since I don't know those shows beyond like the original characters, really is lost on me. So a casual reader like me was not as into it. Like I said, I don't like the art as much in this volume. It's got that like, I don't know, I don't mind cartoony style often, but like this it reminds me of like a modern cartoony style, if that makes sense, which I don't like as much as like the older cartoonist style comics. But they tend to do a little too much detail, but also not a lot of detail at the same time. Really pointy noses like you get in manga a lot of the time. I don't know. It's not for me, but it does cross over with the other books, so you do have to kind of pretty much read the whole thing in order to get everything. I don't know what order they are. I don't know. This is my one big formatting issue with this. Is like, great, it's chapter 2. It's like, since this is a crossover of multiple books, I'd like to know what issue is what. And I'm just kind of guesstimating. This seems like Go-Go Power Rangers again, just because of the art style. And I can look at the art and tell that, but, you know, it'd be nice to just have it all laid out a little better. I'm guessing this is the annual that then takes place, because there's a bunch of short stories that takes place as chapter 3. And these short stories just are the different Power Rangers setups through space. Like I said, I was not that interested in these, and they brought in a bunch of different writers. So they were not, beyond the first one with Kyle Higgins, it was just not quite as interesting, and the art really varies and suffers in some of these compared to the rest of the book. So, not thrilled through here. We get back into volume 4, and suddenly we're back into, I think, the regular Power Rangers, where we have like this like alternate universe Kimberly, and she's evil and working for Lord Dakon, and she's coming in, and it looks like she's fighting and helping the Power Rangers, and then it looks like she kills Tommy or something like that. But it's a there's a twist to this at the end. And then Zordon knows what's going on. This is all really cool art right here. Like I said, the main Mighty Morphin Power Rangers book seems to have better art than the other one. Little Silver Surfer-esque vibe there. And he goes into like the Morphin grid to talk to these like Morphin elders, who are like immortal beings who control the grid. And he's like, please help. We can't just sit here. And they're like, you've got your Rangers. What do you mean, please help? We can't interfere. We're out of space and time. And he urges them to anyway, and comes back, and they say they're not going to, but we'll see. And then we've got Rita and her schemes going on at the same time. So, keeps going through. Rita meets Lord Dakon here, and this is an alternate version of her, and he kills her in this universe as this is going on. And we get the background with these, like, beings or whatever. All right. Back to Go-Go Power Rangers. We see what's going on, blah, blah. The grid's happening. We're meeting all these different alternate universes. Assembling together. Here we go. Back and forth it goes. And they are just heading toward an epic climax where all the universes are converging together. And it turns out that, like, Tommy's world domination as Lord Dakon is going to actually just blow up the timeline and every timeline in order to get his immortality. And so it just keeps getting worse and compounding and getting worse. These are really cool baddies here. And looks like everything's going to go bad. There's not much hope left. There's some good character moments in all of these. And then here's all the Power Rangers again. Again, like, I just like don't know any of these, so it was all lost on me whenever these moments come in. And here's another twist at the end of this. Rita is actually going to be the hope of Zordon and the Rangers, and he goes to them for help. We're into chapter 10 now, and we get back to this alternate universe Kimberly, who it turns out has betrayed Lord Dakon and actually is helping the Power Rangers. And she didn't exactly kill Tommy, but she infused him with power so that he could come back later, and we'll see the result of that. Now, chapter 11, Rita is like, oh, how cute. You want my help. And she actually does then go team up with them, as the epic climax says. It's a pretty good epic climax twist. To go raid Lord Dakon and try to get in there. But Dakon succeeds in getting all of his Morphin powers to get into the grid there. Anyway, they're a little too late. Darn. And then we go into like his like Morphin grid, where he like gets to dictate his own reality because of all of his power. And he's in here, and even so, he's unhappy and just wants to be accepted as one of the Rangers, and that's really the reason he did this. He just felt left out and lonely, I guess. And then our universe's Tommy comes in here and talks to him and is like, dude, this is lame. And, you know, delete this, bro. And that's that on this. I like this little flashback art. Like, whatever they did with the coloring was pretty cool here. It's like a little more painted style to show that it's like a fake reality. Very enjoyable. And then Tommy stops him, and they stop him as Rangers. And they all realize that because they stopped him, reality is going to rewrite itself, and they're not going to remember any of this, and it's going to end. And it's this is the science fiction trope that just drives me crazy. They always do this in like TV episodes, like Star Trek or whatever. They have this like memory thing where you go into somebody's brain or whatever, and he's going to die or whatever it is, and the universe is going to explode, or you never know. But they always do this stupid trope where it's like, oh, we're not even going to remember any of this happened. I remember when they did this in Voyager, and they had this like two-parter where it's like they called it Year of Hell, and like everybody was dying, and Voyager was destroyed, and like they like had to like struggle to survive. But then they like went back in time and rewrote it, and it just went didn't matter. Next episode. And I guess I'm told that like it matters a little bit. There are some lasting elements, but I mean, I know what that means. It just means it's a different storyline that's using what it feels like and then not using what it feels like. And so I think that's a really cheesy way to end things. With all the fan service, I thought this was dragged out just a little bit too far. There was maybe 2-3 issues too many of this storyline to be as awesome as the first ones. Cool concept, though. Cool concept, epic stakes. The character moments were good in between it. So it's like, you know, there's good and bad with this volume, whereas the first two volumes were just like, I couldn't even put them down. Now, whereas the first volume had a lot of background stories and stuff like that, and same with the second volume, this one only has one, and this one just ties into this alternate universe Kimberly, so it was a little more interesting than those. So I appreciated this one. I'm glad it didn't have all these like random side stories that didn't matter. And we get back into the cover gallery, which they put all the variant covers for all these issues in here, and a lot of them are pretty. I just am not a huge Power Rangers fan, so I don't care too much about these. But, you know, you have a large amount of variant covers, as you can see. So that's it. There's good and bad with this volume. Like I said, it's a little too long. It's a little too drawn out. They definitely sacrificed because they wanted to get 6 issues of each series in there for the pacing. And the moments where there was just like all these Power Rangers coming in and out of different dimensions and things like that were totally lost on me as somebody who's been reading this series and not following all the TV show over the 24 years. If you're a big Power Rangers fan, that's like huge fan service for you, and that's the whole point of it. You're going to absolutely love it. If you're not, this probably is not going to hold up as well as the first 2 volumes for most people. So I don't know. Overall, like I said, the character moments were okay, so it's a 7 out of 10 for me. I'm reviewing a lot of 7 out of 10s lately, but I just wasn't wowed like the first couple volumes on this one. And so I don't know where it leads. I don't know if they'll do another deluxe edition. I don't know if I'll pick it up or if this is an end of an era. I know Kyle Higgins is no longer writing it. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, it was a fun adventure. I don't regret reading the 3 volumes at all, but I don't know if I love the conclusion enough to keep all 3 in my collection or reread them or anything like that. First 2 volumes hit it out of the park. This was just kind of a mediocre conclusion to it. All right, that's my thoughts on Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Shattered Grid Deluxe Edition. If you enjoyed my review, hit the like button. If you didn't, hit the like button anyway. Subscribe and do all that stuff. If you've read this, leave what you thought in the comments. I'd be interested to hear, especially from Power Rangers fans. Like, you know, is the fan service, like from your perspective, better than I thought it was? Let me know. See you guys.